Welcome to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we've got an interesting project. This here is a hydraulic Toplink that I made for my B3030 Kubota years ago when I bought it. Basically this plugs into the hydraulic outlet on the back, and it allows me to control the angle of attack of my implement, rather than having to get off and constantly adjust a threaded Toplink. So the only problem I have with this is I get a lot of creep. So basically what happens is what creep is, I'll set the cylinder to say that depth, and slowly as I'm working it, it'll leak back through the control valve, and this will start to change. It might get shorter, it might get longer, depending on what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this thing by adding on a pilot operated check valve. So what this does, this will sit on the cylinder here and get attached to both ports, and when it kind of works like an electrical relay. When I operate the valve, it'll pressurize either port here, and it will actually open and close the pathway. So when the valve returns to neutral, once I've got this set at the depth, it's locked, it's blocked. It's impossible for the cylinder to change position. So that's what we're going to do today. Of course, me being me, it's not exactly the right thing, but I got a deal on it. So I needed one that fits 3/8 pipe. This fits 1/2-inch pipe. So we're going to do a little Claremont engineering, and I'll show you how it works when it's done. And of course, all the steps along the way. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is remove the old hoses and fittings and get down to the work ports in the cylinder. The first step that I've done is remove the hydraulic hose fittings out of the cylinder and put in the banjo fittings. Now these are some used banjo fittings that I got from somewhere else. I cut them off and drilled them out. I'm going to be putting a 3/8 pipe in there, so I'll insert the pipe in and then braze it up. And same thing on this end. So I've got my two banjo fittings ready to go. I left them a little loose so they'll move around for now. Now we're going to see what we got to do to make our 3/8 lines fit in the 1/2-inch ports on this thing. Shouldn't be too hard. I have a plan. I've completed the first step. I got a couple of pieces of 1/2-inch tube and welded the 3/8 tube into it. I didn't really weld it, I brazed it. I wish I had some silver solder. That probably would have been even better. But I don't know if silver solder is actually rated for that kind of pressure. But anyway, it's brazed now, so we'll let it cool off. And then I'll cut it to length and start fitting everything together before we braze the banjos onto the pipe. Here's the point I've reached now. I made this by brazing a piece of 3/8 tube into a piece of 1/2-inch tube. So that goes in there with the compression. And this now I've got this all set up because the length is kind of critical. You can't weld anything till you've got the length set. Now I'm going to braze here and here. So I'll be brazing the banjos to the tube, and then I will take it all apart again, put in all my seals, bolt it all down for keeps, and then I'll also probably make some kind of a little bracket that just goes down to just tab it to the cylinder here to keep this thing from flopping around. And that should be it. The valve, the piping, the banjo fittings, everything is final installed now, all torqued up. Now I'm assembling the hydraulic hoses back onto it. I decided in the end to turn this 90 degrees. I haven't got a lot of room on the back of this little tractor, and if everything was sticking out the top of it, I'm scared it would hit the rear deck when the rear deck of the body of the tractor when the implement came right up. So this is what we've done. We're screwing it into here. I've got 1/4-inch lines, and these are 3/8 pipe thread, so I've had to use a bushing. Any of you that are eagle-eyed will notice I've used a brass bushing here. Really, this is hydraulic stuff. It should be a steel bushing, but I'll get away with it. I had one in there for a long time. So it is what it is. Next time I'm around Princess Auto, if I find some steel bushings, I might swap them out. But so far, so good. That's where we're at. There it is, all buttoned up. The lines are back on. We've got everything here tightened up. All the seals are put in. So we're gonna go ahead and put it on the tractor and see if it works, see if it leaks, hoping it doesn't. And that should be great. If this works, I've got another pilot operated double check valve here. I'll make a hydraulic top link for the other Kubota too. Might as well. Well, that's not going to work. You can clearly see that the hydraulic lines are going to interfere with the 3-point hitch. So, plan B. Alright, I changed how the lines come out. They come out sideways now. And that's got lots of clearance around everything. So, when the hitch comes up, you can see it's going to miss everything. Alright, now I'm going to plug them in and we'll check for leaks. So it leaks like a sieve. Back to the drawing board. Okay, so here it is, all together and working. Doesn't leak. So now we've got a nice pilot operated hydraulic top link. Really nice. I'm not too fond of this. The hydraulic place was shy one of these fittings that I needed, so it's on order. I'll get the fitting situation straightened out later and clean that up. But for now, at least, I can put this darn thing to work and get my stuff done around here. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll tune in next time to see what we're up to on the Claremont Classic Garage. So long for now.